This year marks the 16th edition of the Poultry India Expo, held from November 27th to 29th at Hi-Tech's Exhibition Complex, Hyderabad. Industry leaders gathered for our Knowledge Day seminar, sharing insights on advanced poultry nutrition, bird health, feed technology, and sustainable farming practices. With over 400 exhibitors from more than 15 countries and 40,000 attendees, this expo is shaping the future of the Indian poultry sector. Thank you for joining us. Let's listen to the esteemed speaker.
Can I please request Mr. Satish Babu from Ovobel Foods to join me on stage, presenting a topic about the poultry export challenges and opportunities.
MP Satish Babu is a distinguished figure in the Indian poultry industry with decades of expertise spanning layer farming, egg processing and distribution. By qualification, he holds a bachelor's degree in business management, BBM, and is a CWA intermediate. His journey began in the early 1980s when he joined his family's poultry business, which specialized in small-scale layer farming, animal medicine and feed distribution. As a second-generation layer farmer whose family has been in the industry since the mid-1960s, Mr. Babu brought forward the family legacy with the establishment of Ashray Farms in 1996. Expanding his vision, he later entered the egg processing industry with the acquisition of Ovobel Foods, which today operates 2 egg processing factories in Karnataka. In addition to his business endeavors, Mr. Babu has dedicated over 20 years to serving as the chairman of the National Egg Coordination Committee, NECC Mysore zone, where his leadership has played a vital role in advancing industry standards and supporting poultry farmers. Ladies and gentlemen, please extend a warm welcome to Mr. MP Satish Babu.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Satish Babu. Basically, I am a poultry farmer. In the year 1864, a French chemist discovered the method of heating at the right temperature for the right amount of time could kill microbes without affecting food quality. We now know this as pasteurization. The concept of long shelf life started in milk, beer, and wine. Hundreds of years ago, Chinese discovered the clever way of preserving eggs by sun drying and grinding them. This modern concept of egg powder started and developed in early 1930s and was extensively used during Second World War because it had long shelf life, easy to store, and for the transportation. So, we need to understand what is value addition. Value addition is the process of creating extra value to a product or a service. During Second World War, value addition means easy to store, transportation, and long shelf life. Now the meaning of value addition is totally different. Meaning is easy to serve, convenience, it should have better nutrition, better taste, food safety, hygiene, traceability, and sustainability, and much more. For example, a single egg in the store will cost you ₹6. Now, the same egg, when you go and buy in a supermarket, it will cost you ₹15. If you convert the same egg into the omelette, you get ₹30. This is value addition. This is how revenue increases by going further in the value chain. The total global processed food market is projected to reach about $7 trillion by 2029. How we are going to achieve this? That is a big question. The major reasons for such big growth are people don't have time to cook and everyone is busy. The disposable income of people is higher than ever and growing. People are becoming more and more health conscious and are looking for cooking convenience and nutritious options to replace their everyday meals. This gives us huge opportunities to position egg products as a major part of the ready-to-eat and ready-to-cook segment. These are all the basic egg products: whole egg powder and whole egg liquid, egg albumin powder, egg albumin liquid, and egg yolk powder. Some more egg products, that is biscuits, cookies, and the Mary biscuits, egg-based sweet, egg noodles, egg-based snack. Many countries are using egg products to enhance the taste and to increase the nutrition of the snacks, because egg has more pure protein, so they are using these products, egg products. Some more products are cakes, egg-based cakes, egg paneer, tofu, instant egg noodles with egg. There is a small video where you can make thousands of omelette. This machine can make thousands of omelets per hour. Now, this machine is being used extensively in Europe to make omelets. Going further, these are all the opportunities. Because of high nutritional value of egg and pure protein, there is a big opportunity for us to explore in many products. In the other countries, as I said earlier, they are using egg products to increase the taste and nutrition also. Let's go to the challenges. The very important challenge nowadays is pricing challenge. You know, the cost of production of any product is directly dependent on its inputs. India was one of the cheapest egg producing country in the world earlier. Now it is becoming more expensive in India. The main reason is the feed cost. Recently, when the corn prices in India touched around ₹30, at the same time in US and other countries, it was around 17 to 18 rupees. Today, the corn price in India is around $300 per metric ton, whereas in US and other countries, it is 170 to 240 US dollars per metric ton. The story is similar with soya also. On an average, the feed cost in India is around 30 to 40% expensive than the feed cost in other countries. Even in milk, being India the biggest producer of the milk and consumer also, the cost of milk is high, The reason is the low yield and the feed cost. At least in our poultry industry, poultry efficiency is at par with the global, Indian poultry efficiency is at par with the global standards, but the cost of production of the feed is high, so we are not much competitive in the global market. When it comes to chicken exports, South America countries exports billions of dollars worth of chicken due to its cost competitiveness. Increase in freight cost due to geopolitical issues like Red Sea issue and Ukraine-Russia war issues also impact the costs. Also, in international market, some countries have better trade agreements which result in easier market access and lower import duties for their products compared to ours. This further impacts pricing. And the next very important point is currency fluctuation. It plays very important role. We have to see our country currency fluctuation as well as other country, the importing country currency fluctuation. And the next major challenge is policy challenges, the government policy challenges. FTA, you know that free trade agreement. There will be free trade agreements between the two nations. It happens at every frequent intervals. When India negotiates free trade agreements with other countries, which allows for India to export certain products to that country without duties, and that country to export certain products to India without duties. There is a big disconnect between the Indian government officials and the negotiators and the Indian poultry stakeholders. The industry is not properly involved in process. So a lot of important products which can be exported from India are left out from such agreements, and a lot of products which don't need to be included are included in the agreement. This happens when the related government agencies don't always have the correct and updated data which only industry can provide. Our industry can provide a lot of information when this FTA trade negotiation meetings are happening. We should participate, we should influence the government and request for them to include all the products and fight for the best possible bilateral duties. On an average, India exports goes up by 25 to 30% only after signing the free trade agreement with certain country. Our import from that country goes up 70 to 80%. So you can just imagine we are not participating in free trade negotiations. We have to do that to increase our exports. This is always led to low utilization of free trade agreement, due to which exports from India don't increase much. All this is happening because of lack of stakeholders' involvement in India. Whereas in developed countries, concerned government agencies maintain good relationship with relevant industries, taking their inputs, involving them as an important stakeholder in the process before signing any trade agreements. This leads to better negotiations and better utilization and benefits from such free trade agreements. Another major hurdle what we are facing is non-trade tariff barriers. What is non-trade tariff barriers? Means, apart from the duties, we are facing some other restriction from the importing countries. For example, additional licensing, registrations, additional certifications, inspections, quotas, etc. In the name of all this above, some countries restrict imports to their country. For example, US requires certification by their FDA which makes it very difficult and expensive to get our products approved for import. Some countries even impose higher standards than what is required in their domestic producers. They relax the terms for the domestic producers. For the import purpose, they restrict. This is what's happening in international trade. Even though China is one of the biggest exporters in the world, it is very difficult for us to export to China. The main reason is they have a lot of non-trade barriers. They restrict the quality, certification, and quotas, as I said earlier. With all these issues, export subsidies, incentives from the government help exporters and mitigate these issues to some extent and encourage them. But due to various issues, a lot of export subsidies that were earlier have been disconnected now. We should request the government to increase these export subsidies so that we can become more competitive in the global market. Yield per acre will also play a vital role. Our government vision of doubling income, agriculture farmers doubling income can be better achieved by increasing productivity instead of just increasing the prices. USA corn yield per hectare is 11 tons. India corn yield per hectare is 3 tons only. USA is producing around 390 million metric tons per year. India is producing only 35 million metric tons of corn every year. So India corn prices keep going up when global corn prices are low. Our export competitiveness, because of this, it's coming down. Ethanol is one of the major point we have to think about it. Because ethanol, the government of India is planning to include around 20% of ethanol from 11.6% right now. What is going on will become double in next 1 year. The total ethanol production in the country is 13.8 billion liters now. Out of that, 8.8 billion liters coming from molasses and 5.05 billion liters coming from corn. So just imagine, in case of we double it, from where we get the corn or other grains. That is a big challenge in coming years, and there will further jump in the corn prices. Manufacturing license will also make a big issue in India, and it is not easy to start any business in India. And the final point, that is technical factors, antibiotic issue. All countries, importing countries, insist for the antibiotic-free egg eggs should be used in the egg products. Earlier, they were insisting only in the ppm levels. Now, they are insisting for ppb and ppt levels. That is very difficult in India. And the next one is pesticide residues. That is also very important in India. Pesticides, the controlling usage of pesticides at the agricultural farmer level, it is very difficult in India. So the presence of pesticides will be there. We have to be very careful. And the next very important point, the importing countries are insisting cage-free eggs. It is unhygienic to produce these cage-free eggs in India, and very difficult, and it's expensive also, but most of the countries are insisting for the cage-free eggs. And India is spending very less on amount on R&D. We have to increase our R&D, so we'll be more competitive in the coming years. Finally, increase in the per capita of consumption is quite challenging to introduce new products and induce habit change. It is even more challenge to all of this in the global market, where the taste preferences, habit, and other factors vary a lot from one country to another. To conclude, we have sufficient egg production, we have big opportunities, we have all the resources, we have a lot of challenges also. Some needs to be resolved at government level and some industry at some industry level. Then we can truly unlock the global egg products exports opportunities. Thanks for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very very much, Mr. Satish Babu, for sharing in-depth insight